Hey, what's up, everybody? It's DJ Mo D here coming to you from What Say Radio. Appreciate y'all always tuning in, locking it in right here with me, What Say Radio. And y'all remember the Palisades fires last month in Los Angeles, California? Yeah, it still should be fresh in our brains and our memories. I did a story on it. And y'all remember when Mayor Karen Bass, she was out overseas during the times the fire was going down, and the fire chief Crowley, female, who was leading the charge as far as all the fires that were going on. She mentioned that the city had kind of failed, her department because they didn't have enough trucks, water to fight the fires and things like that. Y'all remember that situation that went down, and then Mayor Bass finally made it back from overseas, and the reporters bombarded her with questions of why she was out of town while her city was on fire, and all she could do was give them the crazy stare down. She didn't have any answers, uh, and it was just very awkward. And then ultimately, it ended up with Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, and the fire chief of LA having a sit-down meeting, and it was presumed or that the fire chief would possibly be fired coming out of that meeting. However, when she came out, she wasn't. She still held her position. And then fast forward to President Trump going over to visit the fires after he was after his inauguration. He sat down with leadership over there, including Karen Bass from um, the mayor, and he basically gave her direction and guidance and said we can get this water from Canada and flush it all the way down to to Los Angeles. And she just, again, just had this, crazy look. Anyways, bring you up to date. Just a few days, 4 or 5 days ago, it actually happened, and uh, LA Mayor Karen Bass ended up firing Chief Crowley, and you know, I knew there was going to be backlash. My time serving in the military is, but if it's one thing that I learned, it's that stuff rolls downhill, right? So if there's a catastrophe or something major that's happening, who's in charge? Who's responsible for this? And the person at the top is going to CYA. They're going to cover their A. And then everybody else below is going, but it's going to trickle downhill. People below are going to start falling first before that person at the top falls. So this, in my opinion, is a case of, CYA, even though they won't admit it, they won't say it, you know, she's a woman. She held the fire. She was the fire chief, and you can kind of relate. You might be able to relate that with DEI and hires and all this and that stuff. And so there's various reasons, but I think Fire Chief Crawley made a mistake when she made. You got to watch what you say, even though it might be the right thing. You got to watch what you say because there's always somebody above you, and these are the consequences. So let's take a look at a couple of videos here, and we'll come back and close this out after this. Check it out.
Also now to this, former LA Fire Chief Kristin Crowley issues her first public statement since being fired by Mayor Karen Bass. Critics say Crowley is being wrongfully blamed, but Mayor Bass also has a lot of support. LA's first female fire chief could still appeal the firing and potentially be voted back in by the city council.
Let's go to Chris Wolf. He joins us live in our news center. He's got what former Chief Crowley had to say today. Chris?
Yeah, big development in this story. Rick and Kareen, former Los Angeles Fire Chief Kristin Crowley released a statement today praising her department as one of the greatest in the world. She also detailed what has guided her throughout her career. We're now hearing from Kristin Crowley 1 day after she was removed from office as the leader of the Los Angeles Fire Department. It's her first public comment since Friday's bombshell fallout from the explosive Palisades fire that wiped out a community, destroying lives and property January 7th. Slamming Fire Chief Kristin Crowley for the way she prepared for and handled the catastrophe and a subsequent review of the fire department's actions, LA Mayor Karen Bass announced that Crowley was out and an LAFD veteran was in as interim chief.
I just met with Chief Crowley and removed her as fire chief.
Now, the response. Avoiding any mention of Karen Bass, Kristin Crowley released a statement Saturday. As a humble public servant for over the past 30 years, 25 of those with the LAFD, it has been an absolute honor to represent and lead the men and women of one of the greatest fire departments in the world. As the fire chief, I based my actions and decisions on taking care of our firefighters so that they could take care of our communities. Serving others before self, having the courage and integrity to do what is right, and leading with compassion, love, and respect have guided me throughout my career. A rep says Crowley will be making no further statements on the matter.
We had a fire chief who spoke up and told the truth about what the men and women in the LAFD need on the ground. We need more money, we need more resources, we need more staffing.
I have called.
And that right there, those are the statements that she made during the time of the fires, specifically when Mayor Karen Bass was out of town. And I just had a feeling that would come back and bite her,
Called for a full investigation of
as it was taking a direct shot at leadership.
everything leading up to January 7th. A necessary step to the investigation was the president of the Fire Commission telling Chief Crowley to do an after-action report on the fires. The fire chief refused.
But this is the largest fire in the city of Los Angeles, most damaging with housing. To say that there's not going to be a report, anybody in the fire service, it's ludicrous. It's happening.
The Firefighters Union president says Mayor Bass does not have all the facts and is painting a misleading picture of Chief Crowley. 41-year department veteran Ronnie Villanueva is the new interim fire chief. The mayor says she will conduct a national search for a permanent replacement. We will hear from LA County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath in the next hour. For now, reporting.
So y'all hear that right there. She removed her as the fire chief because she refused to do an after action report on a fire that destroyed a town and part of Los Angeles. Why wouldn't, I'm just throwing this out there, why wouldn't Chief Crowley do an after action report? That does not make sense. I don't believe that, in my opinion. It sounds like a very, very lame excuse to fire her. And again, as you heard in the video, that Chief Crowley can actually contest it, and we'll see if she does that. But for now, she's been fired and she's been reassigned somewhere else in the department. She's still in the department, so she's been reassigned somewhere else, doing a desk job or something like that somewhere. So again, that's very fishy that fire chief wouldn't do an after action report on one of the fires that has caught national attention, maybe worldwide attention, because it is in the Los Angeles area. I just find that hard to believe. But nevertheless, here is Karen Bass, Mayor Karen Bass, with her sort of reply to her not firing her for other reasons. Check it out.
That the Los Angeles Firefighters Union slamming Mayor Karen Bass after she cut Fire Chief Kristin Crowley over her response to the big wildfires there.
We all know that 1,000 firefighters that could have been on duty on the morning the fires broke were instead sent home on Chief Crowley's watch. These actions required her removal.
Here to react is the president of United Firefighters of Los Angeles City, Freddie Escobar. Freddie, I have to say,
I guess Chief Crowley could have asked Mayor Karen Bass, where were you during the fires?
a lot of people heard those remarks by the mayor, and some are just shaking their heads. How about you?
Well, I'm disappointed when I received the phone call for the reasons what I've heard why they removed her from office. I could tell you we have receipts that why she's being removed is simply just inaccurate. So that's our disappointment. We have a general manager who stepped up, told the truth. You know, we wanted to hear the truth, and we support her. The United Firefighters of Los Angeles City support Chief Crowley, and we thank her for her leadership, for telling the truth. We are an underfunded, understaffed fire department, and we need additional resources and staffing and a properly funded budget for a 2025 LAFD.
Listen, I've only got about 30 seconds or so, but I wanted to give you a chance to share one of those receipts. Often people will say, listen, we know more than the public knows about this, and we're upset because we know she was doing all she could in the meantime. Share, if you don't mind, Freddie, just one of those receipts that you mentioned.
Well, I can't show you, but you could look it up by just requesting. So she said that she was removed for not doing an investigation. It's inaccurate. The fire chief at Fire Commission was asked to do a after action report. This is the largest fire in Los Angeles. We're doing an after action report.
Right.
We're doing it really with like a combined operation.
You would have to do it
with state, federal, city, and also county leaders to find out what happened, what we could learn from it. And it's going to take months, if not, or maybe even over a year, to have a very comprehensive, non-biased report. She's doing it. The Fire Commission does not investigate the fire department. They don't. They audit and review the fire department.
Yeah, spot on. And listen, this will be an investigation that will continue, but I think a number of Americans wonder how the mayor seems to be blaming the fire chief when in fact they were all working with similar information and a devastation obviously for the Southland. Freddie Escobar, thank you for your time this morning.
Yeah, so there you have it. I mean, I'm with him. He's spot on. He is spot on when he says an after action report could take months, weeks, year, maybe 2 years, especially with a fire of this magnitude. So there's more to the story. Again, Mayor Bass, it's a thing where you have to cover your tail, and in the end, this ultimately might come back and bite Karen Bass in the behind as well, because you know what they say, it's the old saying, what goes around comes around. And again, when Trump met with Mayor Bass and her people, he didn't seem too happy with her. So I got a feeling there's more to come from this, especially from Mayor Bass's side. And big ups to Chief Crowley for not, responding, or not, not saying anything in response to her firing. She's just going to keep her mouth shut for now and do what she needs to do. And pretty sure, like I said, more facts will come out on this story in the coming days. So give me some feedback in the comments section. Please like, subscribe to the page, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Appreciate y'all tuning in right here with DJ Mo D from What You Say Radio. I am signing out. Peace. And what you say.